Welcome to On the Chain.
So, and then the other big thing that people have been talking about, Jeff, and I'm sorry, but I really have to laugh at this, and I really don't think I can contain my laughter, but this is just one of the silliest things I've seen in a while. This is well, let's play this little video here, because this kind of video is kind of like, it sets it up, makes it a little bit more fun. But the Biden administration, Jeff, how is that going to work? But let's look at this video. How do you think the U.S.'s stance on crypto will change? And then let's go full screen.
A whole bunch of interesting concepts here to get into.
I don't think I can go full screen. I don't think it.
Nope.
Doesn't. That's it right there. Here we go.
For release as early as next month that will outline a comprehensive government strategy for cryptocurrency.
Whoa.
Senior officials have met multiple times to discuss the directive, which will be presented to the president in the next few weeks.
Mm-hmm.
The directive would place the White House in a central role overseeing efforts to set policies and regulate cryptocurrencies. How do you think the U.S.'s stance on digital assets will change? Comment and hit the plus button for more. Crypto is once again being talked about in the White House. The Biden administration is readying.
That's it, Jeff. So a little bit of discussion on this. Let's do a little mini workshop on this one. What are your thoughts about this? How do you think? Now, we've been hearing a lot of rumors going around, and the media's floating it. They're trying to get a barometer check on it to see how people think. But supposedly, Biden is going to go ahead and sign some executive orders, and it's going to be around cryptocurrency. And apparently, he's been meeting with people.
Right.
They didn't say who. They didn't say like they're experts in the crypto field. They're probably, educators. I'll put it that way, right? Probably from the college or the university level, right? Might be where they're coming from. But what kind of a chance do you think, if some executive orders are authored and released, what do you think it's going to, what is your thought on what that might look like?
The
pause says it all, Jeff. The pause says it all.
That's how it's going to look to start with.
Blank paper?
Except he's not going to be sitting at this big desk, because he doesn't sit at the big desk anymore. Whenever he does anything, he's only sitting at a little desk with a fake backdrop. So this picture is a little bit off. But I mean, this whole idea of an executive order it's a little absurd, right? Because, and I don't think it's an executive order that's going to bring about any kind of policy, anything of note. I think it's going to be, pretty much as just like every other thing that's come out of the administration so far, really just kind of messes things up or goes absolutely nowhere. But here, I think it points out just in the beginning part here, the directive will ask federal agencies to determine the risk and opportunity posed by digital assets. That's it. Right? They're not going to do anything. They're just going to ask them to determine the risk, not to do anything about it. They're just saying, hey, can you figure out what the risk and opportunity is going to be?
Have a meeting to discuss a meeting.
And that's
have it.
Have a meeting. It's kind of like that bill that passed through Congress that said that the SEC and the CFTC should get together and talk. Then they passed it to the Senate, and I don't think it ever passed. I think it just sat in the Senate and nothing ever happened to it.
And because they needed something official to be able to talk to each other. It says so they pushed the whole bill through, and they're like, did you guys talk? Oh yeah, we did. How'd it go? It's okay. So it's like nothing comes out of it, Jeff. It's like always one of these things where nothing happens and nobody cares. And I just honestly, I don't see something coming strong out of it. All these articles I read have a lot of words in them, but zero substance.
Exactly. So here you have this, so they want to have this as early as next month. So it's going to outline a comprehensive government strategy on crypto. I mean, they already tried to throw it into that infrastructure bill. That didn't work out too well for them. The director would place the White House in a central role overseeing efforts to set policies and regulate digital assets. But this isn't the role of the White House. This is the role of Congress. Hence the separation of powers. So the White House, through executive order, what's stupid about that is that next administration comes in and says, you know what? We don't like your executive order. Goodbye. Done. And it's gone. Done. It's over. Whatever they did is nullified, with a pen stroke. So
How
what's
about
the purpose? What's the purpose of an executive order? It's
I have a
temporary. The
theory.
other thing is, and we see with this administration, as we saw with the Obama administration, is that they pass through different executive orders that then end up in court because they're constitutional crises, creators, and they're illegal, right out of the right out of the gate, and they end up, it's just absurd. An executive order on this is the epitome of absurdity. It shouldn't go to an executive order. We don't have a crisis with cryptocurrency. What we have is Congress not wanting to do their job and pick it up, and everyone pointing fingers,
Malfeasance,
and
yeah.
just there's no initiative. There's
Look
none.
at this,
Zero.
Jeff. Joe's executive order: hot dog, pizza, pasta, and ice cream. Sounds good. Now I'm getting excited
That
about
would
this
be a good
executive
one.
order.
That
Now
would
I'm
be
getting,
awesome.
I think that would be incredibly, if not way better than the one we're going to end up with, because that would
It
be
has
at
to
least.
be New York style pizza, though, not just any pizza.
That's right. I would
Thin
I
crust.
would rubber stamp that one. Approved. I
That would
just
be awesome.
But here's a theory, Jeff. What about this? What about got the midterms coming up? When the polls start dropping below 40, when the first year and you got massive inflation, there's going to be what they call a shellacking, which is going to happen. Usually the party in power usually gets shellacked at the midterms. There's been a few exceptions. However, for the most part, what ends up happening is one party ends up getting just obliterated. And in this case, it just happens that the Dems have the power, and it's always reverse when the Republicans are in there, blah blah blah. So, how about you can't have candidates who are of the party that has the power promising that they're going to pass crypto legislation if only Jeff, you and the rest of the country would just elect them because they really promised this time. That's going to go over like a fart in church. Not going to go over very well, right, Jeff? So, but what happens if that same that you take that argument away because you temporarily put some kind of an action in saying we're going to give it a year's time until Congress can pass something, and you say that we're going to allow companies to do X, Y, and Z, and basically open it up and keep it open. But there's going to be some little caveat, like it's going to be 10 months till October or November when the election happens, or a year. This is my thought because it's the only reason. Because I have a feeling that when there's a meeting at the White House, that they're saying, "Look, what's the most pressing thing in your district?" They will not stop hammering my phone, sending me emails, talking about cryptocurrency. We got to do something. I almost feel like that is probably what's happening. It's a winning, what do you want to call it? A winning mantra. Everybody, it's nonpartisan. People don't care what party affiliation you are. It's a winning concept. And I think it's something that they would want to promote. And that's my feeling. Even though I want to believe that would be something that would happen, probably will be useless legislation, or executive orders.
Most executive orders in general. And,
I don't like
maybe
them,
there's
Jeff.
maybe there's a reason why they want to be able to do them, but at the end of the day, they're pointless. I mean, because again, it doesn't matter. Someone said, "What about Trump's executive orders or George Bush's executive orders?" I mean, any of the
Barack
executive orders.
Obama. First
At
of
the end
all,
of the
Jeff,
day, the next administration, we saw it. We witnessed it firsthand when Biden came into office. The first thing he does is get rid of any executive orders, previous to, and then some, and so it's just too easy. It just but that's not how you should properly administer the country. Again, the Congress needs to do their job, but when the Congress doesn't do their job, that's when the president steps in and has to do something short term, and, pointing out Biden to Obama because it's a continuation from what they're, the same administration. Biden was in the Obama administration and did things there, and now he's in but there's no lesson to be learned. They don't learn. They just continue down whatever, direction they're going to go in. And, I think you and I both agree, the executive order idea is just overall, kind of pointless.
Are you down with OTC? Please like, subscribe and click the bell to be notified when the next video drops.